What's up, everyone? It's your boy from Homeroom Classroom coming in today to talk to you about the differences between American English and British English. So, you know, let's get started with the absolute basics. Most accents vary based on their vowels. Now, obviously, both America and Britain are big countries and they have a ton of different accents depending on which part of the country you're from. So many Americans might disagree with my characterization of American English, and many Brits might disagree with my characterization of British accents. So keep that in mind and let's get started. The first thing you should know is the oo sound versus the u sound. So in America, we like to drop the y's when it comes to words like intuition or tuition or enthusiasm or enthusiast, etc. If I called over my British cousin here to give you a little bit of a demonstration, he'd probably say the words, actually, let's just get him over here, shall we? Hey bro, you want to come over? All right, awesome. Let's do this. Why, hello there. So I guess I'm in America now, and let's start talking about the differences between my accent here and this guy's accent. Anyway, so like he said, the words that he pronounced would be quite different where I'm from. So we'd say it kind of like intuition, intuition, or enthusiasm, enthusiasm, enthusiast, enthusiast. But the last one here really gives you a bit of a taste for another difference between our accents. The ast ending versus the ust ending that Americans like to use. So for example, when we say the word artisan, we say artisan. And when we say the word partisan, it's partisan. Or for example, the word parmesan, it's parmesan. But Americans don't pronounce it the same way. That is absolutely right, my brother. So the way that we would say it would be artisan, artisan, and partisan, partisan. So I don't know if you can notice, but the difference between, one major difference between American accents and British accents is that the vast majority of American accents have the R sounds pronounced. So this is what we call a rhotic accent, because the R is pronounced. So for example, partisan versus the way that this guy says partisan, partisan. Huh, you're right, I don't pronounce the R, partisan. Exactly. So, there's another big difference that you might be noticing between the way that we say words. And this has to do with the T sound. So in American English, the regular T sound is a little bit more like, at the back of the mouth compared to the British one. So it's like a t, a t, versus the British t, t. Huh, I didn't even notice that one. But so yeah. But you know what else? You guys don't pronounce your T's like T's a lot. Like for example, when I say identity, I say identity with two T's there, versus you seem to be saying something a bit different. You are absolutely right. So the difference there is that in a lot of American accents, the T disappears sometimes after the N sound. So for example, the way that I say the word identity, identity, you kind of drop the T there. But another thing's happening here that's worth noting. So the T sound, the second T sound, which my British cousin over here pronounces with a proper clear T, we would turn that into a bit of a tapped T, which sounds kind of like a D, although it's not really a D, because a D is a proper, like you hear the sound D, identity. It's not quite like that. It's more of an identity, D. So it's kind of like in the middle, it's similar to a Japanese R sound, or even a Spanish R sound maybe, but it's not really a proper D sound, and it's definitely not a T sound. That makes sense, bro. So that's where you get your pronunciation of internet from. Internet. All you Brits care about is your goddamn banter. Alright, yep, internet. That's how I say it. And this, like, interesting T sound happens when it's in the middle of two vowels. So this could also happen if the T is at the end of a word and the next word starts with a vowel. So for example, if I was gonna say, what are you gonna do today? What are you gonna do today? I would say today, even though it sounds funny when I say it by itself, in the middle of that sentence. Although obviously, if I was gonna say the word today by itself, it would be a clear T sound. Today. There you go. Hope that helps. Now the final difference I want to talk about today is the difference between our O sounds. So in most American accents, barring some Southern accents, the O sound is produced more at the back of your throat. So it's kind of like a ooh, ooh, ooh. But if you're doing a British accent, my cousin over here would pronounce that a little bit differently. Yeah, you're right. It's an O sound for us. O. I don't know if you can hear it, but there is a slight difference there. It's not really at the back of the throat. It's more in the middle of the mouth or a little bit more like forward. O. 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 O sound. So, for example, over, over. Not over, but over. That's how the Brits would do it. But you know, bruv, when you said the word produced, that kind of gave me a bit of an inkling of another difference between your accent and our accent. When we say produced, we kind of do a dew or a dew sound depending on how posh you are. More posh people would probably say produced with a clear dew sound. And, like, you know, us plebs would say produced with a j. So, what does this factory produce? What does this factory produce? That's the way that a Brit would say it. How would you say it? Ah, you're right. We would say produced, do, with a straight up O sound. This is similar to the stuff we were talking about with the TU sound. So with both TU and DU, sometimes we don't really do the yeah. We kind of just turn it into a ooh. And this is also true for words like new. I believe posh Brits and some Americans do say new instead of new, but the most common pronunciation of the word new and news in the US is new and news. There you go. Now the final and the most incredibly obvious pronunciation difference between American and British English is the ah versus ah sound. So in America, when it comes to words like pasta, Mario, Mazda, etc., we like the ah sound. But the Brits, they have a bit of a different take on this one. You want to listen to my cousin over here? Yeah, that's true. These words would be Mario, pasta, Mazda, etc. It's an ah sound for us, which is interesting because the most stereotypical difference between our Englishes is that when we say words like can't, or castle, or task, so many things, vast, etc., we like to use an R sound, especially down south in the southern half of England, versus what you say is more like the northern half of England, except with a stretchier ah sound. You want to give them a bit of a taste? That's absolutely true. So when we say words like castle, task, vast, it's an ah sound. A bit more elongated than the ah sound that the Brits have. So for example, the word example. I think British people would say it like example, exactly. In the south of England, it's pronounced example. There you have it. That's the difference between our accent and his accent. I hope you liked this video. I will see you in the next one if you want more content. Peace. Yep, thank you so much for coming here, bro. And thank you guys for tuning in. And I hope you liked this episode. So if you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe to Home Run Classroom. And we'll put up more videos for your perusal. All right, signing out.